4th and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Now, I always love this. Absolutely love this. The tight end you. I mean, these guys. The Skittle man, right? Kelce, Olsen, Greg Olsen. They started this whatever it was years ago, and I tell you what, this is really a good idea. You're just bringing in all the guys, all the tight ends from around. I can't say everybody's involved. I don't know, but you're just sharing stories and just talking about different things, maybe how to stay healthy and its proper way to eat and all that stuff, and how to train and how to run routes and watching film and stuff like that. And I say this guy does this, you want to do that, So that's it's like 3 days, I think it is. Absolutely fantastic idea. Really, I wish almost every position group should do something like that. But now, with Fidone, now he got a little bit of love thrown his way from Mr. Kelce. But, I don't want to throw any water on the fire here, but I do think, if I do remember correctly, I think Bellinger, I don't remember if it might have been the Skittle man, might have been Kittles, gave Bellinger some love. It was either him or it was one of the K's, Kelce or Kittles, Kelce or Kittle. Gave Bellinger some love. I might have been his rookie season. Said something about Bellinger. I think I really like him. I think, so and it was like, wow. A couple of years ago, I was like, wow, all right, maybe we got ourselves a steal here, Bellinger. Where is he? Rookie year looked like, maybe we might have a decent tight end here. Okay. And then second year with Waller, right? Bellinger kind of just disappeared, because Waller was the main man. But then last year, Theo Johnson came in. Bellinger's on the side. So I don't know. But, just because they're praising Fidone, they did say he's very athletic and all that. And one thing to be sure is that the Giants, with their tight ends, they draft athletic human beings. Okay. Big, 6'5" or tall or whatever. Athletic human beings. But, it's nice to hear, nice things, right? Especially about our team. But, let's see, Giants rookie Thomas Fidone draws praise from Travis Kelce at tight end university. All four New York Giant tight ends, Johnson, Bellinger, Manhertz, and Fidone, participated in the annual tight end university founded by Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Greg Olsen. Fidone, a rookie 7th-round draft pick, caught the eye of Kelce, a 7-time All-Pro, who is third in career receptions by a tight end with 1,004 and fourth in receiving yards with 12,151. My goodness. Wow. I got some pretty cool compliments from Kelce just out of the blue, which was pretty cool. Fidone told KETV. He told me I was extremely athletic and moved extremely well. He told me that my timing routes were really good. Just being able to hear that from him was cool. Fidone called the experience awesome and a great opportunity. With 3 experienced tight ends ahead of him on the 90-man roster, Fidone will have to fight to earn a roster spot on the 53-man roster. If he earns one, could it come at the expense of Bellinger, who drew praise from Kittle after a tell? There you go. Okay, here it says it in the article there. Could it come at the expense of Bellinger, who drew praise from Kittle? It was Kittle then, okay, after attending tight end university in 2023. So it was his second season. He went to tight end university. Maybe his rookie season he didn't go. But in his second season, Bellinger went to tight end university and drew some praise from Kittle. And it's like, oh, wow, okay, cool. All right, man, Bellinger. All right, baby, here we go. We got a good tight end here. Maybe we still do. I don't know, but he's not the starter. All right, then. But one thing Fidone does talk about, too, is that Matt Rule, right? He was being maybe this close to being our coach, right? Till he made that infamous stop, I believe, right, in Carolina. He was coming up from the south, and he stopped in Carolina, I guess it was, or he plane stopped in Fairway, and they wouldn't let him go. They offered him a contract, $300 trillion a season. And he picked the phone up and said, hey, look, they offered me a contract, $300 trillion a season. You want to match that? If you want to match that, I'm going to sign here. So Mr. Mara said, yeah, we good. Click. Of course, then we signed Joe Judge, or Gettleman signed Joe Judge. But so Matt Rule stayed in South Carolina, and we got Joe Judge. And the rest is history. But at least the first time that we did go up against Matt Rule and the Panthers, we wound up beating them. And I remember Mr. Mara was very happy about that. Of course, that was one of our few wins. But anyway. But Fidone does praise Matt Rule. He says Matt Rule was the biggest reason he's NFL ready. After an adversity-filled college career, the former Husker tight end credits Rule as the driving force behind his NFL readiness. In a recent interview with an Omaha TV news station, New York Giants rookie and former Nebraska tight end Thomas Fidone II, didn't hesitate when asked what best prepared him for the NFL. I would say the biggest thing would be Coach Rule, Fidone said, crediting his former head coach Matt Rule as a key figure in his development. The offense and the mindset that he brought definitely helped the transition. Coming out of high school, Fidone was considered a can't-miss prospect, ranked as the number one tight end in the 2021 recruiting class and a consensus top 50 prospect nationally. He was Nebraska's highest-rated commit in over a decade. Yeah, Nebraska, it's weird, I'll tell you, man. Nebraska, growing up in the 70s and even obviously in the 80s and all that, Nebraska football was big. I mean, I remember watching them. Of course, I like Notre Dame. I think it was the 71 or 72 Orange Bowl, one of them. Because the 73, Notre Dame was in the Sugar Bowl, and we beat Alabama. But 72, it was 71 or 72, the Orange Bowl. They had Johnny Rodgers. Nebraska just killed 40-6, just straight up killed them. I mean, Nebraska was just good. I mean, in the 70s, they were good. The 80s, they were really, and even in the 90s, they were good. But I'll tell you what, the past 10, it's weird. The past 10, 15 seasons, Nebraska is just, it's like, where did they go? Weird. Really, really weird. The Council Bluffs native had a rare blend of athleticism, size, and receiving ability, drawing comparisons to elite pass-catching tight ends at the NFL level. But almost immediately after arriving in Lincoln, Fidone's road became anything but smooth. A torn ACL in the spring of 2021 sidelined him for the majority of his true freshman season. Just as he worked his way back, a second knee injury. I mean, it's unbelievable. I really feel bad for these guys. A second knee injury in 2022 delayed his development yet again. 2 years into his college career, the nation's top tight end recruit had only appeared in one game. Wow. As the injuries piled up, so did the frustration, not just for Fidone, but for fans and media who wondered if Nebraska would ever be able to fully unlock his potential. Whether it was injuries or play calling, many felt he was underutilized during his time as a Husker. Still, after prayer and dedication, Fidone never wavered in his commitment to the program, a resilience that would eventually pay off. After two frustrating injury-riddled seasons, Fidone finally found his footing once Matt Rule and his staff arrived in Lincoln. Right? In Rule's first year at the helm, Fidone stepped into a more prominent role, catching 25 passes, 260 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So basically, 1 out of every 6 receptions was a touchdown. 2023, the most touchdown grabs by a Husker tight end in over a decade. He followed that up with an even stronger 2024 campaign, hauling in 36 passes for 373 yards and ranking 4th on the team in receptions. More than just the numbers, Fidone looked like the dynamic pass catcher many envisioned when he signed out of Lewis Central, Iowa. Nebraska's offensive scheme under Rule gave him opportunities to line up across the formation, attack mismatches, and become a consistent outlet for quarterbacks. For a player who spent years climbing back from injuries, Rule's arrival marked a turning point that helped him unlock his potential. With a career in the midst of an era where the transfer portal became the norm, Fidone's decision to stay in Nebraska is somewhat remarkable. Between mismanagement on offense, consecutive seasons on ACL injuries, and multiple coaching changes, Fidone never entered the portal. He stuck with the program that believed in him first, even when his path to the field, let alone the NFL, was anything but guaranteed. That loyalty and mental toughness are now paying off. Fidone not only emerged as a leader for the Huskers late in his career, but also proved to NFL scouts that he could battle through adversity. That unwavering belief in his journey has led him to the next level. Now, one thing I said, you look at his RAS score, it's over 9, once again, phenomenal. He's very, I don't know, he's just like long. He's 6'5", 6'6". He's tall. He's got long arms. Right? So, he's got his work cut out for him. But, they drafted him. I'd be hard pressed to see them putting him on the practice squad. I'm not so sure about that. But it's somebody to certainly keep an eye on. That's for sure. As of right now, what we're looking at is hopefully Theo comes back and he's okay, and he'll be the starter. Manhertz will be in there. Maybe small pass catching opportunities here and there for him, right? But he's going to be mainly the blocker. Right? See if Bellinger can carve out a role for himself. But, one thing, certainly keep an eye on Fidone. Always pull for that guy, right? And hopefully these freaking ACL injuries are in the past. Hopefully he never has to worry about that. But coming to the Giants in MetLife Stadium, we've seen some ACL injuries, haven't we?